It's like a rite of passage if you live in Southern Ontario to take a road trip to Florida. And that's what we did a few weeks ago. Something that was new for me was I finally got to check out Buc-ee's. Buc-ee's are now all over the place in the southern US, including in Florida. You will start seeing their silly billboards all along the interstate. And once you get there, it's basically just your typical convenience store, gas station, but much, much, much bigger. And I would like to thank Bucky for helping me get through that 26-hour road trip. We stayed at the Disney Pop Century Resort. This is one of Disney's value level resorts, so it is more of a budget-friendly, inexpensive hotel option. It's known for all of these big, larger-than-life sculptures of characters and toys. The overall theming of the hotel is various decades of the 20th century. Now, with it being a value resort, you will have more basic amenities like the quick service restaurant is just cafeteria style. The pools are nice, but they don't have the fancy water features and stuff like that. But the biggest plus with Pop Century is that it is close to the Skyliner, and that is a really convenient way to get to Hollywood Studios and also to Epcot. So I highly recommend, if you're on a budget, Pop Century is a great option. I would definitely stay there again. On our first day, we arrived fairly early, so we took a resort hopping day. The first stop for us was the Art of Animation, which is the hotel right next door to Pop Century. And they have really great theming on that resort. It is similar to Pop Century as far as their layout, and it is, I believe, still considered a value resort, but it's a little step above. As I mentioned, the theming is a lot more detailed. The pool is a little bit nicer, has more features like water features, little water slides and things. But overall, both Pop Century and Art of Animation, I'd say, are pretty equal choices. If I was going with young children, I might lean towards Art of Animation because they'll be more immersed in the characters that they are familiar with, like Little Mermaid and Cars and Finding Nemo. But either option is really fun, and they're both on the Skyliner route, so they're both very convenient for transportation. Next, we took our first ride on the Skyliner and headed to the Caribbean Beach Resort. We really love the vibe of this resort, the beach and the views. The only downside that would keep me from staying here is the resort is very big, very sprawling, to the point where you often will need to take an internal bus just to get around the resort itself. Plus, if you are going to Magic Kingdom or Animal Kingdom, you will be riding a bus as well, which is what we did. We headed to Magic Kingdom, not to go to the park, but just to go to the monorail station so that we could take a resort tour of all the monorail resorts. The first resort on the monorail line is the Contemporary, and it's most well known for being the resort that the monorail actually drives right through the lobby. The lobby is beautiful. It has this large mosaic mural. My favorite part about the mural is keeping an eye out for the five-legged goat. We also stopped at the Contemporary to eat dinner at Chef Mickey. This is a very popular character dining experience. Mickey and Minnie and all his friends are there. There are specialty drinks, and the desserts were really fun and well themed. and it was a good time. Don't feel that even if you're going to Disney without kids that you can't go to the character meals, because you absolutely can. We were not the only adults there without children having fun at the character meals. The next stop on the monorail line is the Polynesian. This is personally my absolute favorite Disney resort. The lobby is gorgeous. The theming around the whole resort is beautiful. These are the vacation rentals if you have an extra $4,000 a night lying around for a stay on the water. But a little secret is that you do not need to be a guest at any of these resorts to enjoy most of their amenities, such as the restaurants, the pool bars, the beaches. The only thing really that you can't do as a non-paying guest is go into the actual pool area. But otherwise, you are free to enjoy all of the amenities of any resort. And while we were at the Polynesian, we enjoyed one of their character breakfasts at Ohana. The Ohana breakfast is special because in addition to meeting Mickey and his usual friends, you'll also get to have breakfast with Lilo and Stitch. The last resort on the monorail line is the Grand Floridian, and this is definitely the most opulent, the fanciest of the resorts on the monorail line. They have a beach area and a beautiful pool area as well, just like most of the other resorts. They also have a gorgeous view of the Magic Kingdom Park. I also wanted to see some resorts that we've never visited before. So our next stop was the Yacht and Beach Club. This was perhaps my new favorite, especially this pool area and the pirate ship play area. Absolutely gorgeous. The lawns, the grounds were impeccable, and all sorts of adorable little beach themed touches. It's on the resort water taxi line, and so you have easy access to the boardwalk as well, which has some fun bars and clubs and a few restaurants if you're looking for a smaller alternative to Disney Springs for a night out. So yes, Yacht and Beach Club I thought was one of my new favorite resorts. I would love to stay there sometime. And the last stop of our resort hopping adventures was the Wilderness Lodge, and it's gorgeous. As you can see, this lobby is magnificent, and the grounds, again, so beautifully kept with the waterfall leading down to the pool area. I have stayed at the campground at the Wilderness Resort a few times, and that's lots of fun. But if you would like that nature theme, but also with the luxury resort vibe, then the Wilderness Lodge is perfect. On our first park day, we visited Epcot. This is personally my favorite of the 4 Walt Disney World parks in Florida. When you take the Skyliner, it drops you off not at the front main gate, but it drops you at the back by the World Showcase, which gives you a perfect opportunity to make a beeline for the Ratatouille ride, which I'd never been on. So I was very excited to try that ride first. We were visiting during the Flower and Garden Festival, so after riding on Ratatouille, we took some time to walk around and see all of the beautiful topiary displays that they have throughout Epcot. And this is a limited time event, so if you ever get a chance to visit in the spring, I highly recommend visiting and seeing these topiaries. They are absolutely breathtaking. There is also specialty food available during this festival, which this one is from Japan. It's fruit sushi, and we had some specialty cocktails, and There were many vegetarian options as well. My personal favorite was this special spicy Dole Whip. Another thing I was really excited for was the new Journey of Water attraction themed around the Moana movie. It is not a ride, it is a walk-through attraction, and you get to explore the water cycle, and it brings back the spirit of Epcot of education so that children can learn about the water cycle and how to take care of water and keep it clean for future generations. We had 2 days at Epcot. On our first day there, we had dinner at Coral Reef. This is a restaurant that's known for its large aquarium within the restaurant, so you can watch the sea life go by as you're having your dinner. The second meal that we had was in the Japan pavilion, where we went to Teppan Edo, and they cook your meal there at the table and put on a little bit of a show. And yes, it's a little bit corny, but it's really fun too, and the food is excellent. Our second park day was at Animal Kingdom, and if I'm being totally honest, Animal Kingdom is not my favorite park, but I was really excited to see all the new Avatar attractions because I haven't been to Animal Kingdom since they all opened, and so I tried the new food and drinks and went on the Navi boat ride attraction, and it was all very beautiful. We also went on the animal safari, and then we sort of just relaxed and walked around the park. Didn't go on too many rides on this day because it was, for some reason, a very crowded day. Even though it was just a regular Monday, it was not a holiday weekend or anything, but I actually found Animal Kingdom to be the most crowded park of all of the park days that we visited. We had fun at Animal Kingdom, but we didn't want to stay too late because we had to prepare for the evening portion of our park day, which was the after hours event at Magic Kingdom. This is a separate ticket event where you get exclusive access later in the night after the regular ticket holders have left for the day. It ran, I believe, from 10 p.m. till 1 a.m. on the day that we were there. We got much easier access to all of the rides that typically have long lines. You even have access to the new Tron coaster without needing to join the virtual queue. We did not actually ride Tron because it was still about a 45-minute to an hour long wait, and out of only 3 hours long event, waiting 45 minutes to an hour would have eaten up a lot of our time. So we didn't ride the ride itself, but we got to see the exterior, and it's still really impressive just to see it lit up at night. And overall, if you have a chance to attend an after hours event, I highly recommend it. The next day, we went back to Magic Kingdom so that we could enjoy the daytime vibe and see a few of the attractions that we missed in the nighttime event. Of course, I had to get another Dole Whip, the best Disney snack. We have Jungle Cruise. I am a dork who sincerely likes the Hall of Presidents and even the queue as you're waiting to go in the theater. I love looking at all of the museum items that they have on display. We are very excited to go back to see Tiana's Bayou Adventure once it opens up. That's, of course, the new reimagining of the Splash Mountain ride. It's all been rethemed for Princess Tiana. And I've heard some early reports from people who are season pass holders and have been able to ride it already and say it's a really great ride. So I'm excited to go back for that. Finally, we made it to Hollywood Studios. And from our resort, the Pop Century, this is accessible on the Skyliner transportation system, so it's very convenient. The big draw for us was Star Wars, what everyone calls Star Wars Land, officially called Galaxy's Edge. And we hadn't been able to see it yet, so it was really exciting. This was the only day that we chose to spend extra on the Genie Plus and Lightning Lane passes so that we could get on all of the new rides that we haven't seen yet in Galaxy's Edge, going on Smuggler's Run on the Millennium Falcon, and especially going on Rise of the Resistance, which blew me away. That ride is probably in the top 2 or 3 of what I think are the best theme park rides I've ever been on any park. We also were able to get reservations for Olga's Cantina, which is the bar in the Star Wars Land area. And they have a lot of specialty drinks that are really fun. The only downside of Olga's Cantina is it's very small. Even if you have a reservation, you probably won't get a table. You'll just be seated at the bar. And so we went in, we had a couple drinks, but we didn't stay very long because doesn't have a lot of comfortable areas where you can just hang out. The rest of Hollywood Studios has a really nostalgic vibe with Muppets and Toy Story Land. We got to ride on the new roller coaster called Slinky Dog Dash, and that's a really fun family coaster, not really big loops and high speed, but it is something that the whole family can enjoy. Of course, Tower of Terror is a classic, and because we had Genie Plus, we were able to ride that with a minimal amount of wait time. And also another new ride, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. We were fortunate we had enough time in our vacation to have 5 days at the parks. So we had 2 days at Epcot because that was our favorite, plus a second trip to Magic Kingdom with our after hours event. So we had a lot of park time to really enjoy everything and just get the whole vibe and ambiance of the parks. Obviously, if you have it in your budget, flying is a lot easier than driving. It is a long drive from Southern Ontario down to Orlando. It took us around 26 hours if you include our stops for meals and naps. But if you are looking to save money, and especially if you have a big family, or if you are able to have multiple drivers who can take shifts, it can be a fun part of the adventure itself. And anytime you can go to Disney, it's worth it. So I hope you enjoy your trip. Bye-bye.